Why? How sick and twisted and completely messed up is society at this moment? Hey guys, so this is a video I've put off doing because how do you have this conversation? This is about to be weird. There's just no way around that. But I promise you that I've got a point, and I apologize for my voice. I've been sick all week with some new magical whatever that my kid brought home that's just really decimated us all. The rhetorical question / comment that I probably hear more lately than any other, especially in 2020, is where are we? Where are we? This is typically preceded by a list of recent news items or events that would easily make up a Black Mirror episode. You can it's a fun game. You just go to the news or go to your Twitter feed, go to social media or somewhere and just pick your poison and look at the last few things that happened and stick them all together. It almost works every time. You could do it at any time now. There's never a shortage anymore of insanity. It's personally, I've just taken to calling this place the Upside Down, which is, I guess, a pretty simplified way of putting it. But I think it works mostly. By the time you have a steampunk Cambridge professor taking her time out of shopping at Hot Topic or whatever to write what we're told is a cheerful book, actually, on why humanity should just go extinct to save the earth. I don't know what else you want to call it. As things have now slid down the wacky waving, inflatable, arm flailing tube man water slide to what some people are claiming is literal hell on earth, I've noticed a pervasiveness of, well, why are we selling toys for children that are literally climbing out of a toilet? I mean, as a society, what message are we trying to send with this? That's right, everybody. Today's video is about poops everywhere. I know you've seen this because how can you not see it? If you live anywhere in America especially, and I also saw it in Europe too, so I mean, this is everywhere. Poops are everywhere right now and being put on everything. What was once a substance that we really just didn't discuss all that much, destined hopefully just quietly for a toilet somewhere, or at least a well thought out shallow pit behind a tree out in the middle of the woods, or we're now seeing that the entire world is being simultaneously reverted together back into Freud's anal stage, which once upon a time was reserved primarily only for toddlers aged 18 months to 3 years. So what you're about to see is just a few examples that I and some of my friends and family members who understand how strange I am for always making these kinds of observations have come across and collected just in the past year or so. And I just want to point out, for their benefit mostly, that nobody has gone out of their way to find these either. They've just become so pervasive that you pretty much can't go to a store now, anywhere, any store, without being confronted with at least one usually smiling pile of cartoon excrement on something. That's the level we're at. We've got stickers, pillows, both regular and rainbow, Bluetooth speakers, glitter purses, also in regular and rainbow, or for the uptown girls, they have a Pui Patan knockoff. So someone really took it far there. Piñatas, drink containers, antibacterial Band-Aids, because nothing says antibacterial like just putting some poo right there on an open wound. More stickers. And if you'll notice, by the way, the poop, if it's not rainbow, it's usually next to rainbows and unicorns, almost always. Unless it's rainbow unicorn poop socks, which has all three together. See that? And also the holidays. Don't forget the holidays. Christmas time, we were given a choice between rainbow Santa Christmas poop and gingerbread chef hat wearing poop.
both who sing holiday songs. Because nothing says Christmas like poop, right? I mean, why even go for your average rainbow glitter poo ornament when you could have a squeeze me sound activated Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer poo ornament? Or reindeer poo slime. That's really just the first kid's toy, because there are right now endless options for getting your children to play with their very own poo. Something that's usually a nightmare scenario that most parents hope to avoid for their entire lifetimes. But it's like toy and game manufacturers all woke up one day and had a phone call with each other and said they should normalize kids having an unnatural fascination with the stuff that comes out of their butts and turn it into a fun way to pass the time with their friends. But actually, 2018 was discussed as being the year of poo toys. That's the level. And there have only been more since. And so you got everything now from Poopsie Slime Surprise, which advertises itself as unicorn poop. Once again, unicorns and rainbows and poop. I don't know, it's all together there. The magic is apparently what gives it its fun colors, which upgraded itself to Poopsie Cutie Tooties Surprise, which sounds like it would be fun to say 5 times fast, but is actually something I never thought I'd be saying ever. This one allows the kid to squeeze a surprise unicorn out of a piece of mascaraed poo. They've also got pooparoos, which are apparently just little animal poop hybrids that live together in a toilet. They got squishums, which are scented. And they got these new things we just saw a couple weeks ago at the grocery store called Hangries. Poop slime making parodies, which are truly pitiably disgusting toys.
This one's, I guess, Chewbacca eating KFC and getting diarrhea.
But this is a can that just says poop, except it doesn't. It says caca duty poop made by cannibals.
I just tried to even imagine what the meeting at that company was like, where that idea was spawned. And I think it could probably be turned into a low-budget horror film, possibly.
Wow, they went far with this one. Look at that artwork.
They've also got countless games now, too. All over the place. You have Don't Step in It, pretty self-explanatory. Doggy Doo, probably the same plot there. Pass the Poop is a thing, I guess. You know, like when you go over to your friend's house, can't wait to pass the poop. Toilet Trouble, which is a game with a toilet that makes real flushing sounds, and I guess the point is to avoid getting toilet water on your face. That's a game now that they're selling to children, okay? More special than that is Poop the Potato, which I'm pretty sure is just a glorified 2.5-gallon plastic bucket with some fake potato plushies that apparently your whole family's supposed to kind of get together and stuff between your legs so you can pretend to crap them into said bucket. I mean, I don't know what kind of family you had, but I'm pretty sure there are unanesthetized dental procedures that sound more fun to me than getting together with members of my family or friends and doing that, ever. The tagline is, Poop the Potato Game takes things to a whole new level. And that may be true, but I'm just not sure it's a level anyone should take things to. Why is anyone even taking things to that level? That's not a level that should have even been created, let alone a level someone should take things to. I'm just saying. I think I was probably most horrified, though, by the South Park Mr. Hanky ripoff game, Flush and Frenzy. It's...
Okay, seriously now. This has gone too far. This has gone way too far. Why do we live in a world where they want kids to play with their own shit? Why?
Oh, and the dumpster fire that was Sony's Emoji Movie, which was just an elongated animated smartphone and smartphone app and game commercial for children that was just loosely strung together by something that barely passed for a plot, featuring the Apple poo emoji, is being blamed for starting this all, which is actually kind of apropos, but I'll get to that in a minute. And hey, if that's not enough, we really haven't even touched upon the numerous options for someone to buy and eat poop now. But suffice to say, that's also happening because apparently at this point in the 21st century, just nothing is really sacred anymore. And that's ultimately kind of the point. And I think it's interesting that the smartphone is instrumental in all of this. So don't get me wrong. I mean, I know there's going to be some people who are going to say, who doesn't think poop's funny? Because I come from the era of Garbage Pail Kids and Drop Dead Fred. So I get it on one level, but there's such a thing as taking a joke way too far. And this joke has been played out for way, way more than it was ever worth at this point. Even more than the so far beyond played out "what's up" joke. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Budweiser apparently just reanimated the lifeless corpse of once again for this year's Super Bowl. And I guess this time to promote smart assistants like the Amazon Echo, as if that even has anything to do with beer. Because I guess, why not?
It's a smart world. Don't be stupid about how you get around tonight.
I mean, stuff just doesn't make sense. I mean, we don't live in the era of making sense anymore, okay? This is beyond that. Poop has become so trendy at this point in the postmodern society we live in that it's just starting to kind of blend in with the background like furniture or something. Or get put onto donuts. Because again, not just somewhere, but several somewheres, there are people who think it's hilarious to get other people to pay to eat shit. You even have museums now. In 2016, they created the National Poo Museum in the Isle of Wight. And then just last year, you had a poop museum open in Japan. So people can go. It says it encourages play because poop is so cute. Right? So poop is cute. It's all, we should all play with our poop. It's really the message that is just continuously, we should eat poop and drink out of poop containers and wear poop and play with poop. It's all of these again are statements I never thought I'd be making in my lifetime, actually, but there you go. It's 2020 and that's the degraded, debased, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot idiocracy level of where society currently resides. So why am I bringing all this up? As the Guardian so aptly points out, this is yet another taboo that's being efficiently done away with. So let's go back to the initial question. Where are we? Right? Some people, when they ask it, have chosen to follow it up with another question. Either a handbasket to hell or the bad timeline. Well, if you're someone who recognizes that we're in the upside down, then you know the present society is in this painful process of being torn down. Living standards like fertility rates the world over are down. Identities are being torn down, as we've been informed that everything, including gender and even virginity, is a social construct now. That's what we're being told, right? Old systems from Hollywood to the media to Washington are being publicly shredded, just like our printed fiat currency is soon about to be when the digital cashless grid is fully instituted, right? And along with everything else, our children's innocence, once considered a precious commodity by most of us, is basically being lit on fire. And I'm not just talking about Bill Nye the Fake Science Guy's cringy butt stuff musical. This postmodern society is in the process of being torn asunder. And it's not an accident, it's a planned demolition. Society is being sold on the coming transhumanist singularity future by the self-proclaimed Silicon Valley neo-wizards that are wielding Arthur C. Clarke's indistinguishable from magic technology. And you and I, we're living in this time. We got front row seats to the big show. We're just watching it all happen. I mean, that's why they want us to believe that nothing is sacred anymore. And we got to tear down all these taboos, right? That is why I think crap is literally being smeared on everything. I mean, symbolically speaking. At least that was my take on it. But then I found there's actually a page on excrement in the Book of Symbols. And it starts by addressing this exact position. All right, and I'm probably going to butcher the name of this goddess, but it says the filth that the goddess Tlazolteotl is seen endlessly swallowing and excreting in Aztec codices paradoxically polluted her and purified her, for her own bodily waste emerged as a flower, a central Mexican glyph symbolizing female sensuality and by suggestion childbirth, over which she presided. The human waste that Aztecs collected to fertilize their fields decayed into humus, or tlazolali, earth filth, that they believed generated in her bowels in the subterranean land of the dead, an unspeakable place that ironically gave birth to life-sustaining corn. So death and rebirth. Her name derives from the root tlazoli, meaning not just filth, but also vice and disease, since the Aztecs confessed their sexual misdeeds to her on their deathbeds, shameful stories that she greedily consumed in the form of excrement. The Aztecs' word for disgrace literally meant to be smeared in excrement, yet their words for gold meant divine excrement or the sun's excrement. With similar paradox, alchemy claimed, and psychology supports, that the gold of transformation, quote, is found in filth. In those very aspects of one's substance, the ego tends to dismiss as inferior. So, right there, it talks about how alchemists claimed that the, quote, gold of transformation is found in filth, which, speaking of the alchemists, immediately made me think of Aaron Franz's amazing book, Revolve, Man's Scientific Rise to Godhood, in a chapter discussing death and rebirth, the alchemical transformation of society, and he quotes a passage that was written in 1778 from an alchemical book regarding what is known as the Great Work, which is a concept that could actually be several films all by itself. But I just want to read this sentence, see if it sounds familiar. First we bring together, then we putrefy, we break down what has been putrefied, we purify the divided, we unite the purified and harden it. So each one of these is an alchemical term that is highly symbolic and meaningful. And if we think about this whole process in alchemical terms, putrefying is what happens after everything's brought together, which is exactly what the internet has actually done, right? Hence what makes Apple's poop emoji and icon so indicative of internet land, right? So fitting in this case to see everywhere. Because we're seeing it everywhere. I mean, it's over the top. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous how you can't even run to the grocery store these days without having to see poop on everything. I mean, that's just what's happening. And it's been a few years now, but this symbol of literal decay is still all over the place. And I just think it's interesting timing that it happens to coincide with a society that is being purposefully putrefied, debased, broken down to be dissolved back into the liminal base that can then be transmuted. You know, again, symbolically speaking. I mean, hey, it's either that or everyone has gone legitimately insane. The bad kind.
How sick and twisted and completely messed up is society at this moment? What the hell is this?